Hi there, it's Lerald. And with the BFA pre-patch looming, here it is, the Blood DK BFA pre-patch guide. This won't cover every aspect of how to play the class in BFA, that'll come later, but this will cover the important stuff on how to adjust from Legion to the pre-patch. First things first, your artifact weapon is now dead. It still exists and you should still wear it, but it no longer has any traits or skills or anything cool going on. Relics still exist, but they're just item level boosts. Wear the highest item level relics you can get your hands on. The end. Legion legendaries will still work during the pre-patch too. Their legendary effects will stop functioning at level 116, which means they'll be useful all the way through the pre-patch and up until you hit the midpoint of leveling through BFA. They're gonna forsake you when you need them the most. I think we all saw this coming. In the case of Blood DK, this means you're gonna want to keep using Skullflower's Hemostasis, and you have a little flexibility on your other legendary slot. Just like in Legion, Cepha's Secret is great if you can proc it constantly, and Archimonde's Hatred Reborn is a good source of both an offensive and defensive cooldown. There's not much new, but Skullflower's Hemostasis and the new talent, Hemostasis, do stack with each other, which is pretty awesome. Alright, here's the one new ability for Blood DK. Death's Advance is back. That's right, DKs now have an off-GCD mobility skill that they can cast, and then still use other abilities. Wraithwalk's not dead though, it's a talent, so you can potentially have two mobility skills on DK. Granted, they're probably the two weakest mobility skills in the game, but it's still a huge upgrade for DK mobility. That's it on new DK skills, so let's move forward to what's changed. First up, Deathstrike now heals for 25% of damage taken over the past 5 seconds. The minimum heal has been reduced to 7% of max health, but this still is a net buff for DK self-healing. Bone Shield now grants armor equal to 40% of your strength. You won't really handle it any differently than you did in Legion. You always want to keep Bone Shield active while tanking, but it does make strength a more valuable defensive stat. Dancing Rune Weapon's cooldown has been shortened by a minute, but it is on the global cooldown now. Meh. Alright, now here's the talent setup you should run during the pre-patch. Blood Drinker is still the best offensive option in Tier 1. The debuffs to Deathstrike have made Heartbreaker better than it was in the latter half of Legion, and while it's still not good offensively, it's a pretty decent defensive option just for the increase to Deathstrike casts. Obviously, because of how it works, it's a lot better in AoE than it is in single target. In the level 90 tier, Voracious can be a pretty good source of self-healing in large-scale AoE, but it's a little underwhelming under most circumstances, and it's not very good in single target. Bloodworms aren't mind-blowing, but now that you don't have to crit with auto attacks to proc them, they are a little bit more reliable. Finally, all of the talents in the final tier have a useful niche. Bone Storm is great for AoE DPS, Red Thirst is good in general, and Purgatory is a unique cheat death, which is worthless if you're not dying, but for those situations where you need a cheat death, it's pretty incredible. Here is the Blood DK ability priority. Should you wear Tier 21? The Tier 21 bonuses haven't changed at all, but DKs have lost a lot of artifact traits that increase the value of Dancing Rune Weapon. Then again, Dancing Rune Weapon's cooldown was reduced by a minute. Pretty much if you were already wearing Tier 21 before the pre-patch, you can stick with it. If not, or if it's an item level downgrade to switch to Tier, don't bother. Alright, closing thoughts on Blood DK in the pre-patch. I don't want to overreact to being given a really small mobility skill, but I think BFA DK might be my favorite incarnation of Blood ever. It's certainly an upgrade from how it handled in Legion, and even though there are some cool artifact and legendary bonuses that are being left behind, I'm all in on Blood DK. Their future is bright. Well, I think that about covers it. If you have any questions about how to handle Blood DK in the pre-patch, ask away. We have pre-patch videos for all of the tanks, and we'll be putting together more videos in preparation for BFA's release soon, so stay tuned for more great BFA content, and as always, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.